Back everybody, my name is Tucker, and in the second of today's videos, we're going to be talking about some of my worst predictions of the 2019-20 NBA season. I am under no impression that I'm going to, talk about basketball on the internet as often as I do and get every single thing right. And I make predictions all the time, and I have no problem admitting when a few of them maybe didn't go quite as well as I had hoped to. So I've got 5 predictions in this video from this past season, whether it be before the season or during it, that didn't quite age well for me. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. But really quickly before we get started, if you enjoy content like this, then consider subscribing. I upload every single day, twice a day, moving forward, and we are on the push towards 100,000 subscribers. It's been a goal of mine for a long time, and we're trying to get there. You can also leave a like rating on the video. It helps me out a ton because it lets me know that you're enjoying this specific piece of content, and it helps the video get out to more people as well. You can also come hang out with me at twitch.tv/spolo_TD. There are 5 guaranteed streams over there. You can come over there, drop a follow, hang out. It's a great place to be, as is the Discord server, which is linked down in the description below. Those are 2 places where you can hang out with people that watch these same videos off stream, or excuse me, outside of the videos. In the comment section is in the Discord and in the Twitch stream. But with all those things said, let's go and get started. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go and get the first one, the worst one out of the way. The first couple are really bad, and yeah, I'm just going to come clean on this one. I did not think that the LA Lakers were going to be I didn't think they were going to be a championship contending team. I believe if you look back at my Lakers season preview, I had them as the number 6 seed in the Western Conference. And this is the team that ended up winning the NBA title. So here's my reasoning. Now, I'm not trying to back off of this. I'm not trying to talk my way out of this. It was a bad prediction, okay? But here was my thinking at the time. I was looking at the roster and I was like, there's nobody here. Like, they have LeBron, they have Anthony Davis. Those are 2 outstanding players, but there's nobody else on the roster. They don't have wing depth. They don't have perimeter depth. They've got a couple of okay bigs outside of Anthony Davis, but like, what's their closing lineup going to be? How are they going to be able to make this thing work? I don't see it. I don't understand it. I also was counting on at least a little bit of regression from LeBron James, which honestly, I should just stop anticipating, because until I actually see it happening, I shouldn't try and guess when it's going to happen. And Anthony Davis was incredible, and he stayed healthy, and those 2 guys were awesome. And I give them all the credit in the world for their regular season as well as their postseason success. There's no way for me to talk my way out of this one. I didn't anticipate, someone like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope being a really good starter for them. They found a way to make these other guys good perimeter players. Kuzma, Caruso, Rondo in the postseason, Danny Green, who Lakers fans hate, but he still made some shots for them. They had way more versatility than I had expected, where they can play bigger and then they can also play smaller with LeBron at the 4 and Anthony Davis at the 5, and those were killer lineups that they broke out in the postseason. And I was straight up wrong. I had them as the 6th seed. I didn't think they had the depth. I didn't think they had the versatility. I thought they were incredibly top heavy. And, they, in my opinion, were one big injury away from, being a bottom half playoff team in the Western Conference. And I'll take that out. That's fine. Next up now is the other LA team. And if you guys watch my videos in the postseason leading up to it during the regular season, you know that I thought the LA Clippers were going to win the NBA title this year. It's even funny as I say it out loud. I don't know who let me trust the Clippers. I can guarantee you there were plenty of people in the comment sections of those videos yelling and screaming at me like, "It's the Clippers, Tucker. Like, what are you doing? Why are you picking these guys?" And I just believed in the talent on the roster. I thought they were the deepest team in the league. I thought they were the most versatile team in the league. They had 2 top-tier wing defenders and players, and I believed in Kawhi Leonard. After seeing what he did for that Toronto team last year, my thinking was this Clippers team is more talented than that Raptors team last year. Kawhi was incredible in the postseason, and until proven otherwise, that's what I'm going to trust. And it turns out that wasn't a good prediction in the bubble. And honestly, like in the beginning of the year and during the year, I felt great about it, because when the Clippers were right and when they were playing their best basketball, there weren't really any teams that were able to play as well as they were when they were right. Now, they put up some absolutely awful games throughout the year, but then they would always come back and have another great game. And I was like, oh, okay, everything's fine. Yeah, I had a big miss on this one. I don't know. I didn't think Paul George would play as poorly as he would in the postseason. I didn't anticipate Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams and guys like that completely disappearing offensively and being absolute dumpster fires defensively. And I mean, Kawhi, he didn't perform well either down the stretch in that Nuggets series, losing a 3-1 lead, losing in the conference semifinals. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to to talk my way out of, and I'm not even going to try. The LA Clippers, until proven otherwise, are not a team that I'm going to put any stock into or believe in. I've been scarred emotionally and spiritually. Like, I can't do it anymore. I never should have trusted them in the first place, and I feel stupid for doing it. And yeah, that was a bad one for me. Next up now is another one from kind of like my season preview type video. I think it was actually like a Bleacher Report win-loss predictions video or something. I don't remember exactly. But I do know that I had the Sacramento Kings making the postseason, and more notably, in terms of it being a really bad prediction, having a better record than the Dallas Mavericks. I really liked the Sacramento Kings the year before. I thought that they were going to be one of the better offensive teams in the league because of the pace that they played at. I loved De'Aaron Fox. I liked the Buddy Hield fit. I thought Marvin Bagley would be good. And I was like, okay, I mean, this team is going to be, right around that 8th seed. They'll be able to make some noise. And Luke Walton said, nah, we're going to run one of the slowest paces in the entire league. Even though we have, one of the fastest guards in the entire league, we're going to be at a, snail's pace offensively. Didn't anticipate that, and be completely honest. That's a bad one for me. I just, again, like from a talent perspective, like I thought the Kings should have been much better this year. They had plenty of issues, whether it be coaching or Buddy Hield being unhappy or whatever. The bigger miss here is not believing more in the Dallas Mavericks, and it had nothing to do with like, man, I don't know if Luka's going to be good. Like I knew Luka was going to be awesome. Porzingis, I didn't know if he's going to be able to stay healthy. I didn't know if the rest of the roster was good enough. The Western Conference was going to be so tough. But I don't know why that logic didn't translate to the Kings as well. Like I don't know why I believed in like De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield more than I did in Luka. I don't know what was going through my head at that point. But like I said, I have no issue admitting when I was wrong, and I was definitely wrong on this one. So I apologize to Mavs fans for that one. I've learned, just like I've learned not to trust the Clippers, I've learned to trust Luka Doncic, to trust Rick Carlisle moving forward. We'll see what they do this offseason, but they're definitely going to be a team to watch going into next year. And second to last now is one that honestly, when the season ended, I didn't feel bad about. And now that, everything has been played through in the playoffs, I feel bad about this one. In the Miami Heat season preview video, I had them at like 42 wins. And I believe my direct quote was competing for the postseason. Yeah, they ended up making the NBA Finals. I was down on Jimmy Butler at the time. It's not that I didn't love the fit in Miami. Like I felt like if it was going to work, it was going to work there in terms of personality and things like that. I just didn't love how he left a couple of situations in a row. I don't really think you can blame me for not trusting Jimmy Butler in that moment, having, not forced his way out of a couple of places at that point, but, leaving on not great terms in a couple of different places. I thought Bam Adebayo was going to be a good player. I didn't know he was going to be like one of the best fives in the entire league and be a great playmaker and really develop his offensive game. Tyler Hero was awesome. Goran Dragic had a bounce back season. I didn't anticipate those things. And like when the regular season ended, I was like, okay, I was off by a handful of wins or by a handful of, playoff spots in the Eastern Conference for Miami. They were the 5 seed. It's whatever. It's fine. But then when they went on the run that they did in the bubble and in the postseason, I was like, man, that was a tough one for me. So I'll take that one. I didn't believe in the Miami Heat. I didn't believe in them in the beginning of the bubble. I didn't believe in them in the beginning of the postseason. And then once they really started to go on the run, I was like, man, this team is legit. It's not a fluke. They can shoot. They can defend. Jimmy Butler had an incredible playoff performance, finals performance. It was really good in the playoffs, but if you want to use the word incredible, I don't really think there's any other adjective you can use for what he did in the finals. So I'll take this one too. That's fine. And last up now doesn't have anything to do with a specific team, but it's more so my pessimism, that's the right word, yeah, about the NBA bubble and the fact that I don't know how to phrase this one. It's not that I didn't believe in the bubble or the idea or the concept, just the execution and the logistics, I didn't have faith in. I didn't think that it was something that was going to actually be able to happen and happen correctly, and that people wouldn't come back and say that, the championship has an asterisk on it, which still, some people are still saying. But for it to go as flawlessly as it did from a health and safety standpoint, I don't know how I could have anticipated that. Like, when the league was suspended and there weren't really plans on how to restart, we didn't know what was happening. There's obviously a lot of confusion in the world, as there still is. I think I was just in a place where I was just like, I'm just going to be pessimistic until proven otherwise, and that carried over to the bubble. And I know I made a couple of videos where I was like, I don't know if the season's going to start. How are they going to get this figured out? The logistics of this are just going to be way too tough to deal with. It's too short of a time span. How is it going to affect the following season? And some of those questions still haven't been answered. But I have to give the NBA all the credit in the world for how the bubble was handled from a health and safety standpoint. I know a lot of the players were like, man, this is really, really tough. And I'm not trying to say that it wasn't. But in terms of what the NBA set out to accomplish, in terms of finishing the season, in terms of maintaining the TV revenue, in terms of keeping everybody safe there in the bubble, for a couple of months, that was, if you're talking specifically about what's happening in the world right now, that was the safest place in the United States, was the NBA bubble in Orlando. So I give them all the credit in the world. I was 100% wrong. I should have had more faith in Adam Silver and in the NBA to make that happen. And yeah, that's a bad one for me too. And yeah, there you have it. That is going to be the end of today's video. And I thank you all very much for watching. I know you guys won't take this too seriously and absolutely crush me for these. You guys know that sometimes you're just going to get predictions wrong, and that is what it is. And I'll own up to them when I get things wrong. And these 5, some of them were worse than others, but definitely there's a couple of pretty bad ones. But I mean, if I'm going to, celebrate the things that I get right, like, LeBron James going to the Lakers a handful of years ago, I predicted Kyrie and KD going to the Nets. If I'm going to celebrate things that I'm getting right, I might as well point out things that I'm getting wrong as well. And that's kind of what today's video was all about. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But with that said, if you missed any of my previous videos, then you can check out the boxes on screen, and I will see all you guys next time.